missed this beginning of when, after Nick was born. Is it okay if we just explore this a little further?
Mm-hmm.
So Sam, tell me about when Nick was born, how that was for you.
Well, I mean, she wanted to be Rambo in the delivery room. I mean, I wasn't invited to the birth. I wasn't called when she went into labor. I mean, I didn't go to the birth because I didn't know the birth was happening. You know, there has to be a little bit of communication for that. Then, you know, he's born.
Is that something that you were interested in doing?
I mean, I would have been interested in having the option. You know, like, I mean, I feel like it's a moot point because I wasn't given the option. After he was born, you know, I did go to see him in the hospital. I didn't see her at the hospital. And then, you know, I tried to contact her. I tried calling her. I mean, even setting up this mediation, I mean, I try to reach out to her. I try to contact her. I don't hear back. The best way of communicating with her is to go through her parents. And, you know, while she was gone, her parents and I became pretty close. And they, thankfully, are at least somewhat reasonable and understand that it's important that Nick spend some time with his father. And, you know, so they've been letting me have overnight visits with him. I've been getting to see him unsupervised. And, you know, he's finally calling me dad and recognizing me rather than like, who's this guy that's picking me up, you know, once a week while my mom watches us. Like, you know, I mean, he's finally starting to get it. And
so the communication has been difficult.
Yeah, like I've been communicating and she has not.
Okay. So you'd like to have more communication around in general?
I want more time with my son, and I feel like communication with her is a step in that direction.
Well, it's a flip-flop because you weren't there to communicate in the beginning. And my parents letting you take him for a night was probably just a break for them.
Yeah, they probably needed a break because, you know, you dump our kid on them.
Dump?
Like, well,
They're my parents. They're his grandparents. I had to go for our country.
Oh, for our country. Here we go.
So it sounds like, am I hearing from both?
Wow.
Am I hearing from both of you that communication was really is challenging?
Yeah.
For you and so, but I'm also. It seems like you're both kind of having issues with each other not being there at different times.
No, my issue is that she's always there, that I can't see my son without her there. I want her not there.
I don't have that trust factor yet. And maybe I don't know if I ever will.
So if Nick had died, if you had gone and died in Iraq, and our son was left without a mother, you know, grandparents. So, and what if your parents didn't like me and decided that I was never allowed to see Nick? I mean, it's not fair. Like, you know, I've always been a good father. She can say nothing about my parenting skills because I've done nothing wrong. I've never hurt our son, never returned him with a bruise, anything like that. And she hates me, and so she's using Nick so that, like, to hurt me.
I don't
and it's
hate
just
you,
not fair.
Using him.
So can we rewind, because I just want to make sure I have the story straight so far. Nick, do you have the pictures?
Yes.
He's 2.5 years old. And about a year ago, you got deployed, Casey. In the beginning, Sam was not involved, and he started to come around. I guess this was like after you got deployed, or a little bit. There was some visitation, but there were supervised visitation rights. And then when you got deployed a year ago, he was with your parents, and then that's when you got more freedom with supervision. You started to connect more, and you would like to see that communication continue. And I guess, Casey, am I hearing from you that you're looking for visitation to go back to that kind of supervised?
Yeah.
There's issues here around communication, just in general, in being available for each other to do that communication, but also trust seems like something about building trust so that you can have those for those unsupervised visits to happen. Am I missing anything there?
No.
So, Casey, why don't you tell me a little bit about that trust? Like, what would that look like for you?
What, for me to be able to trust that he could take
Yeah.
Nick without me? I don't know. I mean, I feel like I would want to be there to observe. I mean, it's been a while.
What kind of stuff would you be looking for?
I guess a good connection between them. Nick's trust in Sam. You know, how he handles him physically, emotionally, mentally. Takes care of his basic needs. I mean, I don't know. I'd have to develop that. It's hard. It's hard to let him go, especially after being gone for so long. I haven't seen their relationship. I haven't gotten to be with him as much. And
You feel a little out of the loop.
Of course. I mean, that's hard. If I had a choice, I wouldn't have gone.
So you kind of missed this last year of his life, and you come back, and a lot of stuff has changed since then.
Yeah.
I just don't understand. I mean, her parents saw fit for me to, take care of Nick. Basically, have the level of visitation and the level of supervision that I would like to have, being that I can take him. And, so somehow the people that she sees fit to take care of our son, if she were to die, she sees fit for them to take care of him if she dies, but somehow they're not a fit judge of character to...
So the parents are, you're feeling like they're endorsement.
They've told her that I had him on overnights, that I've been seeing him more while she's been gone. They totally side with me. They say that, I'm a good dad. They appreciate me being there when she wasn't there. And so I just feel like there's a big disconnect between them being okay to watch out for our son, but not being okay to endorse my process.
Well, they're also of a different generation, and they want to see a dad in the picture. It's easy for them to say, "Go, dad." I'm not.
So it sounds like the parents, they might be from a different generation, but Sam, I think, and maybe I'm wrong at this, but what I'm hearing is that that kind of endorsement of you from your parent, that means a lot to you, that the parents think that you're a good parent. And that
yeah, I mean, I think that they're good people. I like them, and I'm just really thankful that there was this brief period where I was actually able to spend time with my son, unsupervised. It's just so weird.
What does it feel like? What does it feel like when Casey doesn't let you have that visitation? Isn't following that endorsement of the parents? What's that?
I mean, it's terrible. Like I said, I feel like I'm some sort of criminal or something that, isn't fit to hang out with my own kid. I mean, Nick is this great kid. I love him so much, and when I'm, but when I'm with him and she's in the background just kind of watching over anything, and if I pick him up, she's, right there trying to see, if I'm going to drop him or something. I mean, it's so unreasonable, and I just feel like the last year that she's been out of the picture, I've proved that he's fine with me, he's totally safe, he's fine. If she, would just, open her eyes when she is watching Nick and I, she would see that he wants to spend more time with me.
You'd probably like some validation that you have parenting skills.
Yeah, and I mean, I could go to the courts and fight for that, but I don't have the money to go to court, and I don't have, I don't have a lawyer or anything like that. I mean,
so you're interested enough almost to go through to the courts, but
I don't want to cause trouble. I feel like we can figure this out on our own. If she would be somewhat reasonable, we could actually come to an understanding, and I want to give her that, that option. But if I have to, I'll go to court and I'll drag her parents there. I'll drag Nick there if I have to, and Nick can tell the court that, he wants to spend more time with his dad.
No, he will not go to court. He's a child.